Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Dante. This is Leanne's Morissette.
Oh my god, yes. Perfect.
And this is Dante and Leanne in the morning. And today, later on, we'll be having Shannon Voigt on as our guest. How is everything for you?
Good. It is January 2nd, 2018. I had a...
Well, it won't be aired then, but that's good enough.
Whatever, I mean, that's what today is. I had the best New Year's ever. It was so good.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. Heavy Temple, band I am in, played at Century in West Philadelphia with one of my favorite bands, Narcos, and Black Urn, a couple other bands. And it was, there was tits, there was flying, there was everything you could want.
You got the crowd surf while soloing?
Yeah, that was what I meant by flying.
Yeah.
But it felt like my birthday party is like what it felt like because everything was just going so good.
Yeah. You got flashed.
Yeah, tits!
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So.
Apparently not everybody saw that, but I don't know how they couldn't have. It was like right up front. And it was for a good solid second. It wasn't just like a whoa. It was like a wow.
It was a I am wearing a lot of winter clothes then this is gonna happen kind of thing.
I didn't see it. Kind of came out of nowhere, but it was much appreciated. Thank you.
But you guys fucking killed it on New Year's Eve. You were probably one of the first bands to play in Philly this year for 2018.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, Ruby the Hatchet was playing at the same time as us, but I wasn't there. And neither were you.
No, I wasn't there either. I haven't heard anything from anyone that went to that show either.
Neither have I. I saw a video and it looked pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, that was at a small spot too, at Ortlieb's. It's like 15 people and it feels crowded there. Mm-hmm. Not really any different than Century.
Yeah. You know, honestly, if I wasn't playing, I probably would be at that show too.
Yeah, it would have been a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, best way to enter the new year. I've been looking forward to January for a long time.
It's right around the fucking corner.
We're going on tour with Backwoods Payback and Royal Thunder.
Yes, we are. Yeah. And how did you end up meeting Royal Thunder? The first time.
The first time.
Because you got to play with them at Psycho Las Vegas this year.
I don't know if I would say we played with them. They played the day before.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So, a very good story. So we played at Psycho Las Vegas this year. It was over the summer. And it was a big deal to us in Heavy Temple, who are still trying to pull together. As for me, it's a new band since I joined. It's a new thing. New member, new band, whatever. So I'm trying to decide how I want to start this. So it's Friday. We were playing on Saturday. And I woke up in Las Vegas and looked at the schedule. And I was like, oh, cool. Royal Thunder, 6 o'clock. I rolled over and was like, you girls want to go see Royal Thunder? And they were like, sure. And I was like, cool. So all day, for the whole weekend, we're pretty fucking nervous. So there's a lot of drinking going on, getting involved in. And so we go to see Royal Thunder. It was fucking awesome. Don't have a single bad thing to say about that band. No, I do not. And it was good. And since most of the bands were staying at the Hard Rock, where the festival is, you kind of see each other around.
Oh yeah, it's easy to see everyone in that atmosphere. Like
yeah.
everyone's there. If that band's there for the day or the weekend, you will find them. I mean,
yeah.
You got to hang out with freaking Matt Pike at one point, like.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, if they were playing and they were playing and they were there for the weekend, the musicians were there partying.
Yeah.
In the Hard Rock.
I like that about the festival, but I kept seeing Royal Thunder around, and I was like, oh, shit, there's like that fucking cool band, whatever. And the night goes on. It's all good. And we're up at Saturday morning, like at some dumb butt hour, like 7 o'clock, because there's a bit of a restless night for some of us, and
won't name any names.
No. Well, we were up, and we're walking around, and we're going down the hallway, and in the opposite direction comes Mel, and I'm totally, like, starstruck, so I'm just like, don't look. And then I can feel Elise next to me, like, turning towards her, and I was like, don't do it, don't do it. And she's like, hey, you were awesome last night. And Mel was, like, totally on a mission somewhere, so she just is like, thank you, and keeps walking. And I was like, Elise? Now she's gonna think we're such freaking dweebs. Yeah, so I was not necessarily happy about that, but it was, like, freaking whatever. So we're nervous all day, so we're drinking all day, and blah, blah, blah. We don't start playing until, like, 10 o'clock or something like that. So, again, I'll say I was nervous.
No, you were at, I think you were at, like, 11. Like
yeah,
10:30, 11.
Something like that, yeah. Because King Diamond was
supposed to start at midnight, but they didn't.
Yeah. So there's plenty of time for drinking. So we do that. And we finally go downstairs and get set up. And, like, I do that whole thing. And then I look over at Elise, the singer, and she's like, okay, like, we're good. So I finally, like, turn my amp on and turn around. And the first freaking thing I see is, like, Mel, like, somewhere in the back, just, like, looking around, like, trying to see over, like, heads and shit. And I just was like, great. I was like, just great. I just get to embarrass myself, on stage for an hour in front of my heroes and shit. But it's good, it's cool, it's whatever. And we play the set, and then I get off stage, and my legs really hurt for some reason. And all these people are there, like, talking to me and stuff, and it's cool. And I'm talking to them. And the sound guy is kind of like, come on, like, we gotta keep things moving. So I was like, alright, cool. Yeah. Even though we finished early.
We've had this discussion. That stage was the only stage that was running on time on that day.
I'm not making it up, though. They were, like, telling me to, like,
I'm not saying you are.
Get up and finish.
I just think that's funny that was the one stage, like, because the main stage, the King Diamond's one, was running late.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, true. So I'm trying to hurry up, and then all these people go away, and then, like, Mel's, like, right at the back, and she just was like, hey, and I was like, hi, and she's like, you wanna hang out? And I was like, yeah, duh. And so, but then King Diamond happened, so I clean up my stuff, and then I go watch King Diamond, which is freaking awesome. That was also really good. It was one of the best nights I've had in years, I'd say. And then afterwards, I go back up to the room, I'm, like, sitting around, and I was like, I do want to hang out with Royal Thunder, but I can't. How am I going to freaking find them? And then I get a message from this dude, who's like, hey, Royal Thunder wants to hang out, and I was like, yes! Coming right down. So that's what we did, hung out. And it was sick, it was cool, really cool, loved it. And I left Las Vegas, we left, and I was like sitting there, and I was like, that was cool, I wish we could hang out more. And then got a text message, was like, you want to go on tour? And I was like, yeah. And now that's where we are at this very point in time, is I've been waiting for 6 months for this tour. Not very patiently. I talk about it a lot.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with being excited about going on tour. Tours are fun. I'm looking forward to heading out on the road with you guys.
Oh yeah, so, Dante's coming.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Prepared. So. Moral support, and what was the other reason we said today? Oh yeah, he's gonna make sure we get all of our goddamn drink tickets. Because...
Well, that's what someone who's TMing is supposed to do. So...
Yeah, yeah. That is an important job that you have.
And make sure you get paid at night. Make sure all of it.
Yeah,
make sure you get paid the amount you agreed upon. No, there's none of that. But there may be some loud verbal exchanges. Because those need to happen occasionally. Usually, it's best when it doesn't have to happen. It's always appreciated.
What, violence?
Well, no. When everything works out as the way it's supposed, as it was set up and agreed upon. I can't tell you how often it's like, oh well, you guys didn't draw what you should have, so I don't know if we're gonna pay what your.
Well, that's fucking insulting.
It is fucking insulting.
Like, all my friends are sick.
And it's like, you still probably made enough money in alcohol, like.
Yeah, true. That's true.
That's where the bars make all that money anyway.
You know, a thing I never asked you is how you actually met Royal Thunder.
I met Royal Thunder?
Mm-hmm.
God, it had to be about like 5-6 years ago. And my buddy was just like, hey, I'm heading down to Atlanta to go see Neurosis, because Neurosis hadn't toured in years at that time, and there was no word at that time of them coming up north or coming any further east. Mm-hmm. So it was like, it's been fucking years since I've seen Neurosis. Let's go to fucking Atlanta and see fucking Neurosis. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna stay at my friend's house, and it's like, and everything. And that friend's house happened to be Mel and Josh's house when they were still living together down in Decatur, Atlanta, outside of Atlanta, outside of Atlanta, and we ended up crashing there for the weekend, and that was pretty. It was a pretty ridiculous night. Laura Pleasance was there from Kylesa.
Yeah.
Nick from Hull.
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 How do you spell it?
H-U-L.
Oh, okay.
Hull.
I thought you were just saying Hull with an accent.
He'll actually probably be at the show at Vitus. He does sound sometimes at Vitus.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a good chance he'll be there. He was one of the touring musicians for Zealand Ardor for the U.S. A whole bunch of Brooklynites were the.
We're good. I got every drop.
But yeah, we went to go see fucking Neurosis with Mel and Laura Pleasance, and all the dudes from Mastodon showed up, and
are these all Georgia natives?
Yeah, they're all Atlanta natives, so they were all there. So
damn,
Atlanta is a fun city.
We should move there.
I don't want to live there. I just like going and visiting there. Like,
that's true. What?
Nothing. I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking of the other time I ended up staying with them like 3 years later, and Queens of the Stone Age was playing that night, and we ended up hanging out with Josh Homme and Brett from Mastodon most of the night, as well as Mel and them, and that was a freaking riot of a night too. I don't remember much of it. But
it's a shame you don't remember much of it, because I'd like to hear
Well,
about
I mean, I remember it. I just don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
How's that?
That's fair.
There are stories that don't need to be told. That if those people who have much higher profiles than I do want to put those stories out there, they can. It's not my place to do that.
Just a question.
I'm just
goddamn question.
That's how I feel about it, at least. It's like, if I have dirt on a musician, I'm not gonna be the one that says it, ever.
I wasn't asking for dirt.
I know,
you just said you had good stories, and so I was like, yeah, I want to hear about it. We don't have to talk about it.
Most of them are incriminating, so.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, that was how I met Royal Thunder, as I went off on my tangent there of not talking about that. But that was a good time. And we've just been friends ever since. Like, they come to town and like we put them up a couple times, make food. They've played all the venues across the street and everything, so.
Yeah.
So that makes life easy for everybody.
I got you a Christmas present.
You didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I did. Because I
didn't get you anything, so.
You didn't have to do that. It's my old Motorhead hoodie.
No, there's something in your hoodie.
I know, I didn't wrap it.
It's a sweet book. Awesome.
You haven't read it?
I have not read this yet.
Mine's signed.
Well, lucky you.
This is to Leanne. Love, LJG.
You didn't give me that one. Why not?
Because it says to Leanne.
And my name can be Leanne if I want it to be.
See, I'm annoyed about this too, because we got it on Amazon or whatever, and it's all folded and shit.
They don't care.
Yeah, they do. That's a really good book.
It is a good book. I've heard good things about it.
You haven't read it, right?
I have not read it.
Okay, because I confirmed with you.
No, I have not read it.
Days before I got it.
And I am a big Against Me fan, so I am looking forward to that.
It's a really good read.
Good.
I don't really read that much.
Oh, I read a lot. About 600 pages a week. So, yeah, I read a lot.
On average, 600 pages.
Mm-hmm. I have, my Kindle tells me.
Then we can have a book report on it.
We don't need a book report. I don't
do
any of that shit. But, yeah, I can do a review after I read it. We can do a review together.
That's the goddamn same thing.
Report sounds like homework. Fuck homework.
Or just talk about it. But anyway, it is one of, like, my favorite books. Especially if you play music and you like to be on the road, there's a lot of road stories and shit.
Is it a biography a little bit?
She wrote it with someone from a magazine. I know that really narrows it down. But it's kind of an autobiography. I think it's written in first person.
Okay.
I read it last year.
Okay.
But it is really good. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Do you have any New Year's resolutions this year, as we're in a new year?
Yeah, I mean, I consistently tell myself I need to, like, drink less beer, but then I never am proactive about fixing that, but, we'll see. I want to ride my bike more.
Bicycle or motorcycle?
What do you think?
I don't know.
It's a bicycle. I'm not cool enough for a motorcycle.
Well, you know.
I goddamn kill myself. It's true. My bicycle. I would like to ride my bicycle more.
It's so funny when you say it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. How about you?
I want to pet more cats.
Pet more cats?
Definitely. I want to pet more cats.
Pet new cats, or you want to pet your own 3 cats more?
All the cats. All the cats. I want to pet as many cats as possible. Like,
okay.
On tour, finding people who have cats on tour, that's perfect. That's awesome. I'm always the one who finds the stray cats outside. Like,
what do you do with them? Pet them?
Yeah.
They don't run away?
No. Animals like me. I'm like a baby beastmaster.
A baby beastmaster?
Well, because I have better luck with baby animals more than anything. Like, so like, it's a baby beastmaster because I have all kinds of pictures of baby animals on my phone because they just let me come up to them.
Whatever floats your boat, Dante. I'm still learning things about you.
You know, that classic 80s movie Beastmaster. Have you never seen that movie?
No.
No? Why did I think you would have?
I'm not really... Don't subject myself to cool things very often. Okay.
Who talks to animals? He has this really cool pet. Maybe he doesn't have... I don't know. He looks a little bit like He-Man, so...
And that's something you relate
debatable.
to.
Yes. The getting along with animals, yes. Yeah, I relate to that.
Right.
Sure. Okay.
What you been listening to?
This week I've been actually really listening to the new Godflesh, Post Self, because there's been a lot of recommendations. It was on a lot of people's best of the year lists, and I kind of missed it, I guess. Didn't realize it came out. So I've been listening to it. It's good. It's really industrial and...
Was that like your shit?
You know who Godflesh is.
I do.
I know you know who Godflesh is.
No, I know.
Well, it's just when classic bands I grew up with put out albums, modern albums, you never know how they're going to be.
I guess that's true, yeah.
I mean, I guess, like, look at Judas Priest. Like, they've put out a few good albums in the 2000 era, but not really anything classic.
It's Judas Priest. It's not going to, like, fucking suck, but it's not, like...
Yeah. Like I said, but they didn't. It's not like they put out like complete stinkers. Like they were at least listenable. Like
yeah, well that's what I mean.
With some songs that are fun to catch. Like
yeah,
you know they're going on tour. You know they're not gonna play a lot of the old shit. They always play newer shit. So you got to still be versed in what they're gonna play on tour possibly.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. I'd be kind of bummed out if I went to see Judas Priest and then they just played.
I hate people that go see older bands touring today and then get upset that they didn't play all the classic songs they knew like at that show, and it's like you're gonna tell me that this band has been touring for 30-40 years.
AC/DC did. They played like 1 or 2 new songs and mostly old songs when I saw them.
I don't even know. They weren't really heavy putting out albums though, were they? Throughout the 2000s?
They put out freaking Black Ice.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. That was on the radio a lot, wasn't it? Yeah.
God, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I wasn't a fan either.
I mean, they opened the set with whatever the hit was from that album, and I was
I mean, but AC/DC was always one of those bands that was that did cater to the fans a lot. Like, they
That's
knew...
true. They, like, never changed their sound, you know? Well, I don't want to say completely 100%, but, I mean...
You don't think they changed their sound when they changed singers?
Yeah, because they were forced to. because their singer passed.
Well,
but
yeah.
I mean, they changed producers and shit, going away from like their brother doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It changed a goddamn little bit.
You're obviously well more versed on AC/DC than I am.
Well, it's my favorite band.
I mean, I love AC/DC. I'm just never religious. Other than the classic albums, I never really branched out other than that. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think they, stuck to their guns, and it sounds pretty much similar to how they started. Not many bands that have had a career like that can say the same thing.
That's very true. I mean, that's very true.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, what we're listening to.
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to Skullfist. It's a Canadian thrash metal band.
Yes.
And it's freaking awesome.
I'll have to look. I'm pretty sure they have a new one coming out soon, right? The 2018 is supposed to be released?
Honestly, I don't know. That sounds about right.
Okay. Because what you're listening to has been out for a little bit, right?
I think it was out in 2014.
2014, yeah.
But it's all the thing. It's like my favorite kind of music. I love thrash metal and like over the top vocals. It's cool. Double bass. It's fast.
Apparently, I was having a conversation with someone last night.
Was it me?
No, it wasn't you. We weren't hanging out last night. I was at another party last night.
Oh yeah. I was here yesterday.
You were, yes. But apparently it's not metal unless it has a double bass and a
Well, I disagree with that.
I disagree too.
But Skullfist does. Wait, who told you that?
Jashik.
Oh. I thought you were gonna say the girl with the tits.
No, I do not. I am not necessarily on communicative speaking terms with.
Neither am I. And I feel like I'm getting to know her.
I know her name. I can't think of it right now because
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
You don't have to.
Yeah, and I've just been listening to The Doors.
The Doors.
Yeah, nothing crazy. I also been listening to Sasquatch a lot. Another like.
Sasquatch is so good.
Yeah, I fucking love Sasquatch.
Did you get to see them at Psycho?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm an idiot. Because I didn't want to get out of bed the whole time, and you know that because we shared a room.
Yes.
Yeah, but then you didn't want to get out of bed.
But at the same time, when was I? I was almost never in the room because I was working.
I don't know where you were. I don't know what people were doing. I was drinking in the room, watching from the balcony, and occasionally I'd make an appearance. Stealthily.
Stealthily? That's good.
I probably would have gotten to hang out with more people if I felt like getting up. But, yeah. That's what I've been listening to.
It's not bad at all.
No. Hell no. But my own band is working on our new album. Yeah. We haven't started recording yet, but we're kind of deciding on...
We played at least one of the new songs
We played 3 of the new songs.
3 of the new songs, yeah.
Well, we only write 10-minute long sagas, which is something that I had to, like, delve myself into the waters of, because typically I kind of like shorter to the point songs.
Only one of them I hadn't heard before, though, I think.
Oh, well, that one's brand new.
Yeah.
None of our new songs have names, and it's very frustrating when I'll ask Elise, what are we playing? And she'll be like, well, we're going to do the new one, then the new one, then the newest of the new one. And she's, like, dead serious. And I'll be like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And she'll be like, the new one is, like, the one that's, like, now. And I'm like, dude, please name them. Please name them.
Please. I mean, even if you just have, like, temporary names for them. Like...
Oh, we have some sort of temporary... But those keep getting changed, too. Because she tried to name a song...
Like, why not name this one? This one's kicked in the cunt.
Yeah. Then it won't ever change. But the Narcos named a song. But we named a song. And then there was a whole argument about it. I actually recorded it by accident. But... Yeah, we're working on it. But it's probably going to be, like, 5 or 6 songs.
Well, 4 is what they've been doing in the past. The last couple of releases, the last 2 releases Heavy Temple's had has been 4 songs each.
That's what Heavy Temple has done. Before I was a part of it, so I didn't necessarily have a say in it.
5 songs at 10 minutes each, you're going to have a little unbalanced EP.
Yeah.
So you may want to go 6 songs.
I kind of want to do 6.
Yeah.
I think we only have 3 or 4 written.
6 is a solid LP. Like,
I think so too.
6 is a solid LP. I mean, I'm not afraid to think of albums being released as vinyl and what your time limits are for vinyl.
Yeah.
So, versus like the 90s when it was CDs and you had all this freaking... People would just fill it up with shit, like, just to fill it up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's all we got all this extra playtime on here. We're just going to put a whole bunch of crap. And, like, that's where the secret tracks started coming from and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
That other nonsense. And you'd have to, like, skip 32 songs.
Right.
Till you got to the secret track, like...
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear the secret track on the so-and-so album? Like...
It's kind of weird in this day and age now that you don't have the same, like, album experience. I mean, I like the convenience of applications like Spotify, but I like vinyl and, like, holding it and looking at it and, like...
Would you be mad at me if I told you that I only listen to albums non-shuffled on Spotify since I got it?
What?
I've only listened to albums not shuffled, just the album from just first like song to the end. Oh.
No, I mean, I'm big into playlists now.
It's just what I do. I have to listen to the album. Like...
Yeah. I don't know. I'll listen to albums on Spotify, but, like, I like to make the playlist now, because I like to... that's just what I'm into right now.
Well, maybe we'll have to make a playlist to share with everyone at some point.
Sure. Now that Dante is on my Spotify family plan, and his wife.
Since I'm cheap, you know.
Yep.
But that is the end of part 1. We will be back shortly with part 2. Well, you won't even notice how shortly it is.
Guest.
So, we already announced
Shannon.
It's Shannon. We already announced who it is. And there's not going to be any period of time that they don't know that we're not here. But so it doesn't matter. But we're back. Welcome back. We are joined with the powerhouse in Philly music.
Whoa.
In Philly independent music, Shannon Voigt. She is the founder and the CEO of Perfect World Productions, who does all kinds of awesome things in the city of Philadelphia and outside as well a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metal extraordinaire.
Metal extraordinaire.
Okay.
What would you say are some recent happenings that are going on for Perfect World Productions that people can keep an eye out for?
Well, I do a lot of things under Perfect World Productions. I do full in-house publicity for record labels and for independent bands. And I also do promotions. So I do show promotions, I do show bookings, I do events under Perfect World. I do festivals under Perfect World.
Yeah.
What else? That's pretty much it right now. That is a lot of things.
Yeah? You were pretty heavily involved in the most recent Shadow Woods, right?
I was, yeah. I did all the publicity for Shadow Woods. And then I did all of the artist relations for Shadow Woods.
I have yet to make it to a Shadow Woods, which is a shame. It is, but both of you have been to Shadow Woods and have nothing but very good things to say about it.
Because it's freaking awesome, and when you say you do these things, that's an understatement. It's more like kicks ass.
Okay.
At doing what you do. So,
well,
just so you all know,
I like to be behind the scenes.
Sure.
So, you know, I like to make the artists and the event the focus. So, for me, I'm a pretty humble person. So saying I kick ass.
Well, I said it. I said it.
But thank you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thanks. But Shadow Woods was really cool. It was more than cool. It was awesome. It went off really, really well. And I think all the bands, from the feedback that I got, had a great time.
It's fantastic. It's so much fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's very unique. It's a really unique festival, and
is there a possibility of it happening again this year, or is it still
well, right now it's up for crowdfunding, so you can buy into the next festival. There isn't a specific location set up yet, because what happened was after the last Shadow Woods, the land is actually up for sale. So the spot,
have to find a new venue,
so it has to be moved to another location. And Mary Spiro, who is the head of Shadow Woods, she is visiting different places and talking to different people about doing it. But right now, you can you can buy into a new festival, and it'll be
if you
scale.
have the website for that, let me know and I'll put it up.
It's already up.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Well, then
send the link.
Send me the link and I'll put it up on the video.
That's awesome.
So people have something to click.
It's a really personal festival, whether you're playing or just attending, or if you're involved somehow. You end up spending time with a lot of people there, or at least having the opportunity to spend time. Or you could just get drunk and pass out in the truck.
Well, that.
I'm not saying I did that, but
everyone who's gone has had nothing but really, really good things to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, I was there all 3 years, and I was there the first 2 years as a vendor, and this last year I did all the publicity, all the PR, and I did all the artist relations, and you know, that dynamic really opened up a whole new love and appreciation for the festival, because I got to work hand in hand with all the artists, and that was really special. It was really special.
It's fun working with the artists.
Yeah, and I love that.
I always
That's like my favorite
with the artists. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was like all kinds of people.
Oh, it was great. I met every band that played. And you know, like, I'm the kind of person, I mean, you guys know me pretty well. I'm a nurturer. So it was like, you know, I don't sweat it when a band needs water or a whiskey or they need lights.
They shouldn't need water. Water should be provided at all times.
Well, yeah, it is. But, you know, like, if someone's on stage and they're like, get me this, and I'm like, yes. So I love doing that kind of stuff. So, yeah, overall it was really successful, and I think that every single person that was there that I spoke to had a stellar time. So it was
fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
So since we're talking about performances this year, what would you say would be your favorite performance concert from this year that you've gotten to attend?
Well, speaking of Shadow Woods, Panopticon.
Panopticon.
Hell yeah.
In the woods.
In the woods.
At night. It was really epic.
That sounds epic.
I was helping Withered while they were getting their stuff off, getting their stuff loaded in, and I could hear Panopticon starting to play, and I was like, guys, I gotta go. I cannot miss this.
I gotta leave you high and dry right now. I'm sorry. I can't.
So I ran across the field down into the woods, and I got there, and I just immediately started crying because it was like. Aww. It was just so overwhelming. You could hear the insects chirping in the woods, and
that's really cool.
It sounded good from a distance too.
It was
ringing through the woods.
It was amazing. It was really special, and I'm sorry to say, Dante, but I actually felt bad for anyone who missed it, because it was like one of the most epic things that I've gone to hundreds, thousands of shows in my life, and that was like top 5 best experiences.
I got to go see Over this year.
I know, so you did.
That is, I mean, you're not really.
No, I know. Which is one of my, top 5 things to do before I die.
Exactly, they were on that list, and I have accomplished.
That's awesome.
I have accomplished that. Yeah. So. Yeah, they were all of. It's like, I don't know how I brain farted and didn't talk about them last episode, but that was an amazing show. Yeah. And I ate a whole bunch of fucking space cakes before they started. Awesome. And it was timed perfectly so that I was finished shooting them, and then by the time I went upstairs to the balcony, everything was kicking in, and I was like, I should just relax. Last band of the night. Awesome.
That's amazing. Nice. That gave me the chills.
Yeah. Oh, and they were one of those bands. They were one of those bands that played where they weren't lit at all. It was all the lights and the lasers and the light show and everything, and it was so cool. Yeah, they nailed it. Yeah. I was so stoked on that.
Cool. Another show was seeing Godflesh play Street Cleaner in Brooklyn.
I wanted to go to that so bad. I was out of town.
He was just talking about
really special. Yeah, it was really epic, and Godflesh is one of those bands that I got into when I was actually first getting into heavy metal. And
they were borderline industrial metal.
Exactly, and I was really into industrial music and goth music, and I made this crossover.
They're a bridge band. They definitely are.
Yeah, so I kept hearing bands talk about Godflesh and talk about I'm super into Sonic Youth, and they would always name drop Godflesh and all these bands would always name drop them. And so when I started listening to them, it really opened up a new door for me. So seeing and hearing Street Cleaner was like, I was like a little kid.
What do you think of the newest album, Post Self?
It's awesome. I haven't spent that much time with it just because I am listening to so much music for my job every day.
Yeah. They've been on, like I said, it was on a lot of top lists. And it
was on a ton.
I hadn't checked it out until last week. And then I'm like, this is awesome. Like,
it's really awesome. But seeing Street Cleaner was... It's so funny.
I remember seeing them when they played songs off of Street Cleaner in the 90s. Yeah. But that's not the same. That's not the same as them
at
playing
Maryland Death Fest,
Street Cleaner from start to finish.
Yeah, I saw them at Maryland Death Fest, and then I saw them at the TLA.
Yeah.
But seeing start to finish, it was like, whoa. Like, I was like running around like a little kid.
The TLA show was really good. Underground Art Show was really good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of... I saw them at the Troc before... Yeah, it
was cool. That was really epic. And then the third epic show of the year for me was seeing Aranzi Pazuzu at Maryland Death Fest.
Orense.
Yeah.
It's Orense.
Orense.
Yeah, sorry.
That was really magical for me too. Yeah. It was so packed in there, and like, I just, like, lost everything. Like, everyone went away, and it was just, like, my partner and I, Evan, we were standing there in the back. This is where I like to be at Ram's Head. Yeah. I like to just stay in the back, and we were just, like, holding hands, and, I was, like, shaking. I was like,
I wish I had
amazing.
that to compare to how I saw them at Roadburn, because they killed it at Roadburn as well. But I don't think the atmosphere, like, the Europeans weren't as excited about it because they play in Europe. Yeah. So the U.S. audience was way more excited to see Orense Pazuzu. So
it was awesome.
Yes. So, I'll bust out that finish sometime. So
yeah.
What sort of plans do you have for the future? This year specifically that you would like to see accomplished?
This year, my plan and my goal is always to just keep growing Perfect World. Make it better. I kind of like, I started doing PR after years of running a label and working with bands and doing events and doing all the things that I have been doing just naturally. And I kind of like just walked into PR thinking like, I want to do this as a job. I love working with artists. I love working hand in hand from start to finish of an album. I love working with media partners. So the goal for me is always to just be better, grow, and make new connections and, build everything. Because I want to do this forever. This is like I realized that this was just my calling and this is what I should be doing. So
I think that you're good at it because as somebody who also plays, you have a demeanor that's very comfortable, I feel comfortable.
Well, that's good.
Talking to you and making things happen and stuff.
Good.
The PR world is it's a beast.
Yeah.
It is a beast. And as from being usually on the other end of it, like making the requests of PR, I know exactly how it is because it's your job. You can disagree with me, but it's PR's job usually to say no.
Yeah.
Like.
But also, it's our job to say yes.
It is.
And for me, when an artist asks me to do something or a record label asks me to do something, my first response is, let me see if I can make it work. Mm-hmm. Because, everything is attainable as long as you want it to be attainable. Yes. But there's certain things that you have to say no to. And there's certain feelings that get hurt sometimes. But,
That's feelings. Particularly the random dude who emails. It's like, can I get a physical copy of this release for a review?
Yeah. And that's fine. Not many people ask for that anymore, but, I'm more than happy to send out physical copies of things, or if the label is okay with that.
I'm perfectly happy with a digital copy. Listen to it.
Yeah. There is some kind of magic that is a little bit lost with the digital world in the sense that, you know, when I was younger and when you were younger, and I don't know how old you are, but
Not
you're
important.
probably like a baby.
Yeah.
But, you know,
No.
when I was younger and I was in a band, it was making phone calls and sending out physical copies.
You needed that black book of all the numbers of like...
And, you know, it's funny because when I first started doing PR full time, I dug up a lot of those names and numbers that I had, and I started going through them and talking to people that way, and that's how I built, you know, my relationships with a lot of those people. And I'm grateful that I was around at a time where everything was harder, because it makes me work harder for things and not stress about it.
Is it harder though? Because I feel like sending like a digital PR package to somebody is so impersonal. I'd rather them like hold the thing and like look at it.
But it costs a lot of money to do that.
I'd still rather do it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's an easier way to get your music to a broader audience. But for me, it's really important, and most of my media partners that I work with on a regular basis, they will attest to this. I never just send out anything blindly. Like, I am really big on, I send an email, like, hey, I want to send you this, I want you to listen to it. I would love to partner with you for an interview or a review or something like that. And having that personal touch has, I think, changed things for me. I've actually had people in this past year. I have one guy who emailed me one day out of the blue. I sent him this email. I was like, hey, you know, I'd really love for you to listen to this. I'm going to send you the digital copy, whatever. And he writes back and he's like, you are so disgustingly nice that I hate you. And I was like, that's really nice, but also not nice. Yeah. Like, I don't really know how to respond to that.
What does that mean?
Well, because I try to go the extra step and not just send out digital, you know, communications where it's like, you know, if I was sending you a new record and you were a journalist and, you know...
You get
just get a mass emailing of all these things and there's no connection between you and I.
Right.
They don't even necessarily know if you respond and say you can or can't do it. Yeah. Like, it doesn't always...
I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like... of the school of, like, I want to work with you, so let's talk.
I love when I get them and then respond, yeah, I'd love to, and it's like, oh, you're not approved. Yeah. And it's like, why did you send me that why did you ask me to cover it in the first place then?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I definitely get that occasionally.
I mean, to each his own.
It is. I mean,
you know,
and
what works for some people isn't going to work for everybody.
PR is a beast.
So.
Like, it is a beast. Yeah. So.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like being beastly.
Well, you kick ass at
it. Yeah.
Do you still play anything at all or no?
I do sometimes. My partner Evan and I, we jam together a lot. He's actually been teaching me guitar recently.
What do you play?
Oh, yeah.
I play piano.
Okay.
And I sing. What else do I do? I play anything, really.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play the guitar for real, but I do play it.
Okay, I know exactly what you mean.
You know, I'm not like Evan, where he's like this beastly aficionado. But I can jam with him, and him and I jam sometimes. There's just not a lot of time for us.
We had this conversation about time. Time is very
it's hard.
Yeah, it's very fine. And, you know, Evan's a tattooer, so he works until 11 at night or midnight, and then he comes home, and we normally have dinner and spend a little bit of time together, and then it's like, we're going to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do love to sing, and I love to play the piano and keyboards. And
that's the one instrument I wish I played, is piano.
Piano?
I think I would be a much better musician if I...
I'm grateful that I learned how to play, because
That's
it
really
is
cool.
easier ear-wise to play another instrument, because I know scales.
What works together.
Yeah, and I know chords, and I know how to play. So picking up a guitar it's easy for me to find the notes, because I know
Well, you have
how
an
it
ear
works.
for it. You know, it's a different beast, but it's like, you can hear it.
Yeah.
You know? Some people just cannot hear when it's wrong. I hear people at Guitar Center all the time playing instruments that are
you work at Guitar Center.
I don't want to talk
about
that very much at all.
It's fine. Everybody needs a job.
I hang out at Guitar Center. I'm not working there.
Okay.
And I hear people playing instruments that are out of tune, but they're oblivious to it. It's like, how can you think that sounds good?
Yeah,
and you're playing Sweet Child of Mine. Like, you must have heard that, 5 million times. You have to hear that sounds wrong. No.
That's weird.
But it's not my problem.
Maybe they're just that bad at playing that they usually always sounds wrong.
Well,
yeah.
I think some people don't have a natural ear for music. So it's something that
they haven't
you should take
exercised their musical memory muscles. I
guess that's true.
Some people hear, I'm sure you hear, I don't know, in the 90s it was always Stairway to Heaven was being played in every music store.
Yeah.
That's still a thing.
It always was.
Not that I know, but yeah.
Classically noted in
Yeah,
world,
always.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you, it's different hearing something and finding the note. But if you,
it must sound right in their head because they play it they're
they do the guitar face.
Yeah, and they'll make eye contact with you while they're playing it. It's the most awkward thing.
That's really funny.
It's weird. I'll see a dude playing something wrong, like Metallica, and he'll
you're just
look at me.
Yeah.
No, I just stare back at him like. It's not
You're like,
whatever.
I know every Metallica song. That's not right.
I don't know, but whenever I play guitar in public, not necessarily at shows, but I'm always don't. Look at me, I just wish I was in a room by myself. I don't want to feel like I'm in front of a crowd of people trying out an instrument.
Yeah.
Some people get off to that.
Yeah, it's
Not
weird.
me. Whatever. It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah. So do you work in the guitar section?
No.
Oh.
I don't work at Guitar Center.
All right.
But I've been there a couple times and I just
she just runs Satan's Butthole.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Satan's Butthole. Yeah, my company. Right on. It's good.
Cool.
But I also work at a print shop. I think we talked about it, the last episode and stuff. So I don't want to get too much into it. But that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. No, it's not it. But that's all she has.
That's all I have to say about my career. My career is going.
Well,
really
you do a kick-ass job doing printing.
It's for fun. It's for my friends,
Yeah, but you have your own business going. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like calling the shots. If your band is dumb, I will totally say no. I'm not printing your shirts. I haven't done it yet, but
it's good to say no to people.
I don't know. I like printing shirts for cool bands. We're thinking about doing some humor metal shirts, so we just made some shirts that said something about smoking crack. And there's it's good. I can't remember what it says, but it's good.
There is already a Philly band that's all about smoking crack.
Leftover Crack.
No, that's not a Philly band. That's Crack House. It's the Philly
Crack
band.
House.
Leftover Crack is the New York band.
Is the New York band.
Yeah.
That's true. I totally just but we're trying to make some own original designs and stuff. Me and my friend Steve, who does the printing.
I mean, if you want to be more realistic, it should maybe be about Adderall, because people seem to have a problem with that lately.
Yeah. If you have a good idea,
I mean, Adderall is way problematic with a lot of people right now for some stupid reason. They used to prescribe that shit to me in high school. Why do I need it, and why would I take it for fun for any reason?
Well, I think it has different effects on different people.
That's probably true.
People who actually need it don't get the same high as...
I never got any high out of it.
Yeah.
It was focused.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have ideas, run it by me. But I can illustrate and stuff too.
Oh, cool.
So I'm trying to put the two together. But it's cool being the person in charge, because I can find my own bullshit reasons to say yes or no to something. Yeah. And that's cool, because I never get to be the person that says yes or no.
Yeah.
For, when you're working for somebody else.
I recommend to everyone to run their own business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is challenging.
It is very challenging.
It is.
It's the kind of thing that will keep you... if there's a problem that I have at whatever job I'm working at, it doesn't keep me up at night. No. But if it's your own shit that it's somebody else is going to have to... it'll keep me up. I don't want to let anybody down,
Yeah.
So it sucks. But it's awesome.
Yeah.
So, do you have any shows that you're promoting coming up anytime soon, or?
Well, I have Bayless, who is an awesome black metal band in New York.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming to Kung Fu Necktie in April, the first weekend of
What's her
April.
name? There's
Leslie?
Yeah, Leslie's
yes,
in that
from
band.
Mortals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who else is playing?
Well, they're playing on a bill with another band, but I can't say who it is because it hasn't been announced yet.
Okay. And Nick from Hull's in that band as well, right?
No.
No? Okay.
No, it's Jacques Johnson and Matt from Woe.
Okay, that's where
Leslie.
the connection's coming from. Yeah. Okay.
And they're awesome.
Oh.
I do that. They are. I saw them on Vitus before. Yeah.
They had an album out this year on Vendetta Records, and it's...
Didn't he open up for Hive Lords before?
They played with Hive Lords before. They're amazing. They're really, really good.
Yeah, I went to that show with you.
They're really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that should be really awesome. When it gets announced, I can actually talk about it.
I mean, April's a ways away, which that seems to be the new trend right now, to release, like, the shows ridiculously early, to the point where it's like you forget that it's going to happen.
Well,
they announced it
there's
early.
a couple reasons for that. I mean, like, schedules get planned months in advance.
Yes.
So, I mean, this is a little tip for touring musicians.
Yeah.
Always book your shows 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months out.
Always. I will not disagree with that. But
yeah.
that doesn't mean it needs to be announced 6-8 months out.
No,
like,
it doesn't.
not
always.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much of the announcements coming out ridiculously early to the point where you forget that it happens when it happens.
Well, there's a lot of working parts in a tour or in even a single show for a larger band. There's a lot of people involved. So you have, the local promoter, and then you have the bands that you need to collectively get together to play on the bill. And then you have, the promoters and the booking agents who are booking the rest of the tour. So it's like, there's so many different working pieces inside of that announcing things 3 months ahead or 4 months or 5 months ahead.
Well, see, I'm fine with 3 months.
Yeah.
But 5 months, I just forget about it by the time it comes around. Even if I hit that interested button on Facebook, it tells me the day before, and I'm like, shit, I forgot all about that.
I just, like, when I see a show, I just immediately move it to my calendar. Like, cool, they're playing, goes to the calendar.
Yeah.
So... yeah.
Awesome, though. Anything else you want to promote before we finish up for this evening?
I mean, no.
No.
You're getting
Nothing that I can say.
Well, I mean, she doesn't need to publicly talk about the marriage coming up.
I am getting married though. That's awesome.
That
I'm
is
really
awesome.
excited
I'm
about
excited
that.
for that.
I'm really psyched about that.
Evan rules.
He does rule.
And you guys together fucking rule.
Aw, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're really psyched about it.
Good.
Yeah.
It would be a problem if you weren't.
Well, yeah, we probably would. But it's funny because, we're planning a wedding, and I kind of first started going into the planning planning of the events, like I was running a music festival.
Well, it's not
and my mom
different.
was like, she's like, I feel like you're running a show or something. I'm like, well, it is. It's an event.
It's an event. It's gonna be a party.
Yeah,
Do you have a
it's
time frame for it yet?
It's probably gonna be in September.
Cool.
And it'll be Philly, local, obviously, because
It'll be a
love
good time.
Philly.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah, it'll be good. There'll be lots of metalheads there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that is it for tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we will be back next time. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Did you want to say Happy Thanksgiving?
I did.
I do. Yes, I knew.
That's cool.
And
Do you
Happy
want to do
Thanksgiving.
that one again? We can do another take.
I'm not that good at editing, and all this will probably still be in there. So
Oh, okay.
I'm not afraid to make fun of
Thanksgiving.
myself.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Happy
Easter.